Om Shanti. Welcome to another Yoga Small Talk, and we continue with the science of happiness that gives us the knowledge of how to establish ourselves in the quality of sattva, in the quality of purity, and by that get ourselves established in knowledge, in light, and in happiness on a stable and firm basis. So we mentioned sattva, rajas and tamas, purity, activity and inertia, the three qualities that govern everything in creation. And we saw the harms of each of rajas and tamas and the many benefits of sattva. So the question is how to get ourselves established in this light of knowledge. And yoga tells us, like everything else, of course, practice. So what are the practices that we need to do? So first, sattva is purity. Understanding this principle, we understand that we want to reach more and more purity in order to establish ourselves more and more in sattva. Now we start from the simple things, external purity. Keeping our body pure, clean. Keeping our environment clean. Wearing clean clothes. Like this, we keep ourselves pure externally. And then internally, what we eat is what we become. We teach that when we talk about the yogic diet. So how do we eat purity? How do we eat sattva? Chapter 17 of the Bhagavad Gita offers some answers. What is pure food? And this comes from verses 8, 9 and 10. What to eat and what to avoid. The foods which increase life, purity, strength, health, joy, and cheerfulness, good appetite, which are savory and oleaginous, they are oily, substantial and agreeable. So this is individual, it needs to sit well with us, are dear to the sattvic pure people. So this is pure food. That is pure, meaning that is fresh, it's properly seasoned, it has some oiliness, and it works well with our body. The foods that are bitter, sour, saline, very hot, pungent, dry, and burning are liked by the rajasic and are productive of pain, grief, and disease. Ouch. So of course it doesn't mean we can't have a little bit of spice every now and then. That's not the intention. But the intention is, what is the governing principle of your diet? If your diet is too exciting, you end up being too excited and is not so good for the stomach. This is why it says productive of pain, grief, and disease. So careful with too much flavors, bitterness, sour, salinity. Careful with too much spice, not too hot, not too burning. And then that which is stale, tasteless, putrid, rotten, and impure refuse is the food liked by the tamasic. So the food which will bring us down, that will make us inert, is this food which is tasteless. It doesn't have any spice. It doesn't ignite our digestion system. It is putrid, it's rotten, it's old. And impure refuse. So it's leftovers, but they are unclean. This food is liked by the tamasic. So eating this food, we will become more inclined to tamas, to dullness, to inertia. So food really is very strongly related to our mind. There is another teaching in the Upanishads which shows very beautifully that when we don't eat properly, our mind just doesn't function. But when we eat properly, our mind will function. The question is how. So even to this very seemingly simple principle of food can have very big effect on our ability to be more happy, to be more pure, to be more knowledgeable. And food here, we gave it the specific meaning of what we take through the mouth, but we actually nourish the body through all the senses. So what kind of music we are exposed to, for instance? Is it something that incites us, that makes us very passionate, very prone to action? Is it something that soothes our mind? Or is it something that gets us depressed, low? What kind of scenes are we watching, like movies, like scenery in general? What kind of sensual input do we get through our eyes? What kind of smells? Do we put on nice incense, gentle, natural perfumes to give nice ambience to our space? Or is it full of stale smells? And like this, it's everything that we nourish ourselves with, through all the senses. And this will have a great effect on our ability to find this happiness, this light of knowledge. And what are the other factors that can help us reach a situation in which we are established in this light, in this knowledge, in this happiness? We will discuss in further talks. Om Shanti.